I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Pebble Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds.
Oh, it's not Rob Van Dam. Not tonight. But we got a special guest here. As you can probably see below, it's Mr. Danny Doring. Danny, welcome back to the show, my brother. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Hey, bro, that music is banging.
Right? Dude, so RVD, you might know RVD does not like music, but he likes that song. That's one thing when he does like.
That's got to be played at the Crowbar party scene this week.
Yes.
Under the plastic palm trees down in
right at the cabana, the Crowbar cabana going
Crowbar
down.
Cabana, yes. The Cabana.
I like it, the cabana, yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Shout out to Crowbar. Shout out to Crowbar. Well, good to have you back on the show, man. It's always
man. Excited to be here. It's fun.
Yeah. We are live, by the way. We're live on RVDTV.com, live on RVD's YouTube channel. So if you're tuning into one of those, be sure to like and subscribe to that channel, whatever you're on, and help support the show. Say hi to some folks live in the chat here. We got Michael Fry in the house, Maddie Marijuana, who's an original. We got Triple E going down. We got who else we got in here? We got some good people in here. Candace Coleman chatting in here too. Wavy Wild. So shout out to everybody. Feel free to ask Danny a question. We're open and ready for business here. Danny, I texted you earlier today, and I mentioned, hey, I watched the Raven documentary, and I know you haven't caught it yet, but I figure we will talk about Raven here tonight in a lot of ways. I just interviewed him, and man, but the documentary itself was really, really good. Like it was 2 hours and covered a lot of great ground on him and about who he was as a person. He's super open about everything. So yeah, what was your first memory of Raven, meeting Raven?
Oh, well, my first time I actually met him was the ECW did the invasion for Raw before Barely Legal. Mm-hmm. And you got to remember, this is kayfabe is, I don't even know what the word kayfabe means. And I'm on Team Taz. I have no idea what the insider terms mean. We are in school. We are basically taught like it's a shoot until it's a work. Like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So my first meeting of Raven is we are near the elevators in Manhattan Center, and he reaches over, grabs Tommy Dreamer's eating out of like a dish, and he just takes his food out of him, and I was like stunned, like this is, and I'm on Team Taz. I'm stunned that they're actually not mortal enemies. I could not believe. I was just staring at them in absolute awe. But yeah, no, I didn't see the documentary yet either. But don't worry, Scotty, you're gonna get my money. Yeah, but I lived it. I was on the road room for about a solid year and a half when he returned to ECW from his WCW stint.
The WCW run and stuff like that. And
yeah, so somehow we went from not knowing him at all to being in the car with him every weekend. So I got to knowing him, not knowing him at all, to being like, Jesus, I gotta get away from this guy.
He self-admits that too. He's like, people like, I can drive people nuts. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. The amount of knowledge I had, we had a pretty crazy car at that point. Like I was saying, it was Chris Chetty, it was me, it was Spike Dudley, it was Sandman, it was Raven, it was Mikey, and Jeff Jones from time to time. And then once in a while, Joel would hop in with us too.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, that was. But again, after the shows, it was usually just me, Chris Chetty, Sandman, and Raven were the last four standing, usually going from whatever bar to club to after hours to wherever we wound up. But being around him, learning the ins and outs of the business, it was priceless what he taught us. But we were on Raven time all the time. So that got, after a few months, it's like, you're kind of like, dude, come on, man. But like, we're open and match guys. This dude's having to show up to the building an hour late. You know what I mean? So, it was, but like I said, like he was always really good to us. But it was always amazing. But like I said, Scotty, you're gonna get my money. Don't worry. I'm gonna see the documentary. I just haven't gotten to it yet because I lived through most of it.
That's right. You're already experienced it. And yeah, to everybody out there, it's really worth a watch for sure. You can rent it for $4.99 on Amazon Prime, or you can buy it outright on there for like $14.99. And I think it's even worth a buy. So if you want to do that as well. But highly recommend it for sure. When you would be on Raven's time, did you guys get a lot of heat from that, or were you just just on pins and needles about it all?
No. We got heat. No. All the time. All the time. And because what happened was, we get to the building, he would say, "Don't worry, guys, don't worry. It's on me. The heat's on me." But then he would go tell Paul, he goes, "Oh, Doring and Chetty they held us up." So he would throw the heat right back on us, like.
No.
So it was like, it was little Scottyisms there, you know what I mean? So so we got heat all the time because he would always offer to take the heat because he made us late, but then he would throw the heat back on us. So I mean, gluttons for punishment, we'd still be with him the next weekend and the weekend after, and then eventually I shifted my into Dreamer's car. So it took about a year and a half.
Oh,
being out with Sandman and Raven every night of the week, it takes its toll on everything.
You're putting some mileage on for sure.
Put the mileage on, yeah.
Now, who was the wheelman most times in the car?
Oh, you mean the designated?
Yeah.
Most of the time it was actually me.
Yeah.
Because Chetty could not drive at night. Period. Like he would have this thing where he would say, even on Ring Crew, he couldn't drive at night because when he was a kid, his mother would put him in the car at night to make him fall asleep. So anytime he's in the car at night, he falls asleep. That was his angle to not drive ever. So most of the time it was actually me.
Wow.
Unless we had somebody else with us, like a casual or something like that would pick up the wheel. But most of the time it was me. Yep.
Man. Well, do you recall really what you did learn a lot from Raven? Like what kind of aspects of the business or certain things that he kind of was exemplified?
Yeah, him and Sandman, I mean, were brilliant at, just when to show fire, when to show emotion, what to do in between. Like I started picking up little things that I didn't have before, like facial expressions, where to sell, how to sell, what to look for, where to look above, like to look at the last seat in the arena. That's where you want to sell all the way up so everybody underneath can see you. When to do it, when to show fire, when to show emotion, timing, a lot of timing things. And both of them were excellent at those things. And they were, to pick their brains and I watched and for them to say, we watched your match last night. Here's what you should have done here. Here's what you should have done here. So I mean, for as big of a pain in the ass as he was, he took the time to watch our stuff and walk us through things. We did learn a lot about what to do while we're out there, how to shave time, how to make this, so I mean, all the little things you got to do during the course of a match, or even in promos too. We picked up a lot from him and Hack.
Yeah, what I found fascinating about the documentary that I did not know is that he first got his start over in Portland. Like he went over to Don Owens' promotion over there and worked there for I don't know how long, but it's where he cut his teeth as Scotty the Body and all that kind of thing. And I was like, wow, I did not have any idea about any of that. And it's pretty fascinating. He was able to do that, then jump over to WWE for a little bit, stayed there, was an associate producer with McMahon and all that stuff. That was just crazy stuff to kind of know about even a little bit deeper on that level.
Yeah, early on too, before he went on and did, that whole body of work, especially as the Raven character. The Johnny Polo stuff was funny and stuff, but the evolution, all that kind of stuff, man, that's great. We used to play as him in what was the WCW game when it came out?
Revenge?
Was it Revenge?
Yeah, the Revenge was on Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great game.
Amazing game. My all-time favorite game, as a matter of fact. I was a WCW kid. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
I just got for my birthday. I had my birthday last week. A video game cabinet. The guy in North Jersey does the customization. He customizes them.
Yeah.
He put 11,000 games on this thing. So I'm scrolling through before I bought it, and I got Wrestle Fast on there, WWE Superstars. So all my favorite games of all time are on this thing. So I've been playing it every night. It's a customized NBA Jam game with the customized stool, everything, and it's got every video game ever on it. and then like 10 different systems, bro. I'm loving it right now. Loving
You
it.
got is NFL Blitz on there?
I didn't check. I'll have to check, but probably. It's got everything, man. It's crazy. Like Crowbar's like, oh, bring it to my house. I'm like, absolutely not. Buy your own, man.
No.
You got money for days, bro. Go buy your own, man.
Yeah.
That's like 2 towns away from him. I'm bringing my system.
It's like bring it up. You gotta put it up
in my house, man. I ain't taking that back down.
Tie it up on your roof and drive it over.
No,
Oh man.
It fit my SUV. It's not like a. It's one of the arcade one-up ones, so it's a little bit smaller, but it's got the riser and everything. But he does like this and whatever they do to it to customize it. But it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, man, yeah, I'm jealous.
I got off subject. I got off topic there a little bit, but you got on the video game thing, so. But yeah, man, it's awesome.
No, well, Raven was great on that game though. He was awesome. Like he was one of the best characters on Revenge to play with. It was.
Yes. I got to play DDT quite a bit from him. So.
Yes.
So I think maybe his first title defense with the ECW Tag Championships after him and Dreamer won them were against me and Roadkill, sort of.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah, we jumped Tommy, and then Raven came out to make the last minute save, and then double DDT, double 1, 2, 3. So I think I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure we were their first title defense.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, I'd have to. If somebody knows in the chat, drop it in there for sure and let us know. But
it would definitely be in Buffalo, but I'm pretty sure I was the first one.
Wow, how about that? Well, we were talking off air too. Like you debuted around that time where Raven was leaving. Like a couple months after you debuted, he left.
Yeah.
In 1997 here, Barely Legal was the first pay-per-view, obviously, but then WrestlePalooza 1997 was where he had his career title or something, where he fought Dreamer and it was a career on the line. I think that's what it was. And then he left. Do you remember what the thought process of him leaving, like what the locker room mentality was? Like always going to WCW how did the locker room kind of feel about that at the time, if you remember?
It's weird because I was still pretty young at that point. So I believe that was right around the same time as the Mole. There was an ECW situation called the Mole, they called it. It was apparently, and again, I'm sketchy on it, but Todd Gordon was apparently contracting people and whatnot. And then they were about to start the Flock. And I can tell you, it's a kind of a funny insider story. I get called one day to come to the school. And, this is before cell phones. So I actually had the phone in my house. I pick it up and it's like, you got to come to the school. So I got on a train, take the train from Jersey, New York, from New York to Long Island, get to the school. And it's because Raven had said in the dirt sheets that Chris Chetty was contacted to be in the Flock. And me and Chris are at the school, and I just turned and I said, I got to ask a question. Forgive me if I'm stepping out of bounds here, because I was afraid to get heat for anything.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing here? And it was, and even Chris goes, I don't know, have any idea what a dirt sheet is. Like I don't even know. We had no idea what any of that stuff was. But it was funny because me and Chris were so tight that anytime one of us was going to get yelled at, the other one had to be there. So I got called all the way down to school to vouch for the fact that he was never called or asked to be in the Flock or whatever it was. So, but yeah, I think it was a rib. I think that was a Raven rib just to piss off Taz by using. But yeah, the rumor was, I think at that time was something with Todd Gordon had contacted a bunch of ECW guys to jump to WCW. And I think there was some kind of weird, with some weird heat there, I guess. I don't really know, but I know that being part of the school, we were given that next man up mentality where we had to be ready just to, the next guy's up, keep filling in, because as these guys leave, you move up the ladder kind of thing. But it was a very awkward time because of the whole Mole situation. Or I think that's what it was called. Todd Gordon was apparently a Mole. I'd have to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen about it in interviews and stuff. But again, I was literally green as your Jets hat So I had I knew nothing about backstage politics. I knew nothing about, like I said, I didn't know what the word kayfabe was until I was like 2 years in. I didn't know half the terms that everybody knows today as wrestling insiders. Nothing. I knew how to set up a ring. But like, all that stuff with him leaving, it was kind of it's kind of white noise. But like, again, it was one of those things. Okay, he left, and the whole flock thing, and it's time for us. And we were on the road like 5-6 days a week at that time, so it just kind of we didn't even know. Honestly, I didn't really didn't know he was coming back when he came back either. When he came back to help Dreamer win, he kept that such a good secret and hiding it. So when he came in, that pop of Queens, I remember, was absolutely incredible. But they remember what was going on back then when he was leaving WrestlePalooza. Like I said, I think he was his contract was up. He was leaving. And I don't really remember much about anything particular.
Sipping my coffee, just like Walter Sobchak and Big Lebowski. Sipping my coffee, but not any kind of coffee. Mud water. And let me tell you, mud water gives you all the stuff that you need in a daily dose of coffee that you don't typically get from your cup of coffee. Sure, you get flavor and everything like that, but you get flavor and a little bit more when it comes to mud water. Right here, I got mud water mushroom coffee. And let me tell you, I tried it for the very first time right here, right now, and I love it. I love that you can taste the mushroom in it, which I like a lot, but there's so many different things that goes with it too. Every single ingredient in mud water products are 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. There's also zero sugar and no sweeteners added. And plus, when you order your first dose of mud water, you get a complimentary frother. And I literally did this. And let me tell you, for the first time, very, very therapeutic. I'm going to do it right here. So here, you dip it in. Now make sure when you do this that your coffee is not to the level. You have to keep it about 3/4 down so it doesn't go nuts. So here, I'm going to do it right here. Oh man. Let me tell you, therapeutic. I'm digging it. You're going to dig it too. Mud water is the way to roll. Boom. Check that out. All frothed up. It's really frothed up actually too. So you can check it out. So are you ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, our listeners get an exclusive deal up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use code RVD. That's right, up to 43% off with code RVD at mudwater.com. That's MUDWTR.com. After you purchase, they'll ask you how you found them. Please tell them that One of a Kind with RVD. Let them know we sent you. So do it to it. Enjoy some mud water. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. It's kind of hard to really get a gauge to when you're so new to it. And this is like all, you're trying to assimilate and get acclimated to everybody and fit in a certain type of way. And, so like, yeah, when you're all that politics stuff too, that's a whole another animal. Like everybody's so in on it now because of the dirt sheets and because of wrestling websites and all that shit. But like back then, it's just like, it was still kind of a guarded area,
It was a weird time because Perry also left.
Perry Saturn, right? Yeah.
So I was trained by Perry and Taz.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know there was like a weird Perry and Taz were speaking at that point too. I think it had something to do with that. So there was a lot of weirdness there. I just know like I kind of felt in the locker room how Perry and Taz felt about the locker room because I was around them. So however they felt, that's how I'm going to feel. Like that's like by default, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
And then my loyalty kind of went that way as well. So when it was everything else was like how Taz felt about something. That's how the rest of us felt about it too. Until Taz left, I went, oh no, we have to think for ourselves. But but it was a weird time at that time because there was that whole mole situation. Perry left, and Perry and Taz were extremely close at the school and on the road, and then that was a split. So you had all these things going on. It was really a really weird time, but it was also unique it was the first time I got to see how when people left the company, how other people filled those spots and then came up, and then you had a bunch of guys coming up behind them. That's when you kind of had the rise of the Dudleys at that point, and I think and Rob and Lance and Chris Candido and I think Bam Bam was coming into the mix too. All these different things. So you had you just had different guys take over those roles or those top spots, and you got to watch the undercard kind of fill out. And now we were starting to get more too because of it on the undercard. So I was only wrestling at that point, on every other show. I was on every show. We Roadkill, Chetty, even Spike a little to a degree. We weren't on every show yet. We were just getting in where we could fit in. So it was fun to watch the natural progression of how you can move up the ladder. So anytime anybody was leaving, we kind of got excited. Like, now we could step it up. Now we're going to get from instead of 5 minutes, now we're going to get 8 minutes, from 8 minutes to 12 minutes, and so on and so forth.
How you always hear about like how there was like that almost like a team like ECW, like this is for everybody kind of thing. But at the same time too, how competitive was it back there, like between you guys?
Yeah, man, it was definitely competitive because you had we were fighting for anything. I know we were getting if we finally got a dark match, it was huge, and we were gonna fill that 8 minutes with every spot that ever existed. Like we were giving you, so like when people like get mad at high spotty guys, I get it. I also know I have learned how to slow down, but then at that time when you're young and you're not getting a lot of time, you have to show. So yeah, I mean it was definitely competitive, and we were very very excited to show that we belong and we could fit in any spot we got, any dark match or anything, any ounce of TV time. We were gonna go balls to the wall. So we were, it was very and everything, everybody else too. But yeah, it was like a team, but at that same time, it was like a fraternity. At the same time, I remember even when we were at when we did that WWE invasion at Manhattan, so people like, "What, you guys all wear ECW jackets? You guys all wear shirts? Like you guys are like a team, like." And we thought it was like an honor to be able to wear the shirt and wear, our warm up suits, and it was a big deal. It was definitely a big deal to me to earn. It was a big deal to me to earn my Team Taz outfits, let alone and my first ECW jacket. So that's like getting a varsity jacket in high school with a letter on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was definitely that kind of mentality for sure.
How are you feeling too? I mean, like being under Taz, and this was obviously at the rise of Taz too. Like he won the championship at this time, around this point in time, and like just kind of him getting into that forefront and being that like almost like the name star in a lot of ways for ECW at that time. How was that kind of experiencing that? Did you guys like really foresee that for him too, and like his capability as a top draw for ECW?
Yeah, I mean, when we got to the school, we saw him as a top guy. You know what I mean? So it just, natural progression, like to watch him go from the TV title up to the world title. That was almost like commonplace for us. We just, that's how we looked at him the whole time. But we got to see a lot of the other things that went along with ECW, like being in the school, like Bubba was there and Bubba's promoting towns. Taz is designing shirts. We have a stock of like posters underneath the ring at the school that would have to get sent out. We were doing ring. We were going to do wash canvases, buy canvases. We got to go pick up the hole for Living Dangerously at Asbury Park when Taz and Bam Bam went through it. Me and Kenny were the guinea pigs to go through it. We did it at the studio where they picked up the hole. And then so we got to see all the inner workings of what people like Dreamer and Devon, and because Devon and Dreamer and Guido were at the studio, and they would send out tapes and shirts and stuff. And then everybody on the East Coast had a job to do to make the company run. So it was just in addition to all the things that Taz was doing as a top guy and running the school, he was also doing, I think, a majority of the t-shirt designs, if not all of them.
Yeah. What who was in charge? Was this Paul that was in charge of like having that kind of structure, like who's in charge of this, who's in charge of that, or was somebody else's mind come in and organize and situate all that for people?
Well, I guess it went from Paul down, and he kind of shuffled all the responsibilities, especially to the East Coast guys. Guys in New York and in New Jersey being close to everybody over there, because I think he lived closer to Dreamer and Guido and Devon. I think they lived in like I don't want to say upstate New York, but there's the tip of New Jersey into like the where it's considered upstate New York, and then Long Island is Eastern. So so they lived about an hour or two away from each other, but everybody kind of lived in the same vicinities, which was easier to run everything. The school was in Long Island. I think the studio was in New York, near just north of New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's who took over too when the school when Perry left. Taz still trained, or was there another person that kind of tagged in for Perry after he left?
Taz was training. He was starting to wane out a little bit because he was doing so many other things. And then Bubba was there, but there was always people there. I mean, so like there was Dreamer was always stopping in. Devon was stopping in. Guido was stopping in. Spike basically lived right around there at that time, so he was there every day. And then, like I said, we were already working at that point, and then the students at that time were still trickling out. So I think it was like so Taz would run a class, and then Bubba I think would run a class, or he would help run a class. Mikey was there, so Mikey was running a class. And then the only guy left after that was sticking around was Tom Marquez, the prodigy. He's the only one that actually got on the road full time. And then the school just kind of suffered a little slow death. But we were still working out there on our off days. We were going up there and working out with whoever was left, whatever students were trying to come up and everything. But there was by that point, by the time Taz left, it was basically a done deal. It was
wow. So would you think that was in a way detrimental to the company, or was it a good sign considering that you could get, like, it was a growing promotion, so you could get different types of talent in from outside, what like kind of like the school ending? Was that a bad thing in certain ways for the company?
I don't think so.
No.
Only 4 of us made it out. So I mean, I don't think, I don't know how much of a return on,
investment.
Yeah, that they got. I mean, well, they got a lot of students. Don't get me wrong. These people are dropping. I've seen I've seen at least 1,000 over my year and a half there, and people are dropping like fly. Classes like 20, 30 kids sometimes. Next week there's like 15. The week after that there's 11. The week after that there's 3. You know what I mean? It just kept going. But I mean, as far as people who actually went on to work for the company, only 4 of us.
Wow, that was it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow,
I don't know how Tom Marquez made it, man. I tell you, his first day was a doozy.
Yeah.
He shot on Taz the first day.
No shit. Holy shit.
Taz suplexed him through the drywall. And I wish I was making this comic booky or making it up, but it's an actual true story. There was an amateur mat on the ground, and Tom went flying through the drywall. Me and Chris Perry got to patch it up. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that guy's done. But he came back.
When he shot on him, was he just like dumb to it, like, or was he like, I want to prove my medal kind of thing?
He taunted him. He goes, Taz, what are you doing? Because Taz is just trying to show him a lockup.
Yeah.
On an amateur mat on the ground at the school, and he goes, and he tried to shoot the double leg on him, and he goes, well, what are you doing? And he goes, I thought you were a big shooter. I thought you'd want to, shoot around a little bit. And I was like, oh, the rest of it was like, oh, here it comes. And he goes, oh, you should go for it again. He went for it, and he kind of hooked him in this gut wrench kind of old DiBiase suplex thing, and right over the top and right through the wall he went.
Holy shit.
Oh, it was great. It was absolutely
man, what a business. What a business this is.
Good times, that school. Good times. Now there would be all sorts of cameras inside, and ring cameras and surveillance and stuff, and who knows. But yeah, that was a true house of horrors, that place. But yeah, no, Tom came back the next day ready for class. So
wow. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. If you guys have questions, feel free to use the super chat. That always helps, but drop them down in here. We got a super chat here from Shooting It with Fluffy. He says, Danny, I'd love to hear about your time in MCW. Is that Maryland Championship Wrestling?
Yeah. Absolutely love my time in Maryland Championship Wrestling, working with Jeff Jones and Dan McDevitt out there. They kind of just let me do my thing. And I was really, at that time, I really felt super, super comfortable in my skin, especially when it comes to promos and stuff, where I felt like I was firing on a lot of high cylinder stuff for myself. Like I was able to like really process promos and come across and get the story across, and it was a lot of fun, and they had a lot of really good houses. It was like Michael's on 8th, I think it was called, their big main venue. It was like this really nice kind of wedding hall, but it was huge, and they had a couple other different venues. So yeah, my time Maryland Chambers Wrestling was a lot of fun. And they had the Dundalk Arena was another big one out there, and I felt like I was doing some really good promo work at that time. I thought I was really coming. I felt like I was at my peak there. So it was fun to go there once a month and do those shows. A little bit of a ride, not too bad, but it was, I mean, the year and a half right before I got signed to WWE, and then right after I got released, I went. My first show back was actually at that Michael's venue for MCW.
Wow. Yeah, I shout out to Danny McDivitt. He's a great promoter. I got to meet him 5 years ago when I think StarCast was in Baltimore or something, or in Maryland. And
they're still going strong out there, right? Like,
oh,
I mean, yeah,
he's running some shows still and everything, and yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, like, yeah, I like him a lot. And no, that's cool. So I think I remember hearing about you being in MCW, but I didn't know the time frame of when that actually occurred. So
yeah, I was going down there for maybe even a couple of years before. Yeah, probably like 2 years working there steady through going there. I was doing NWA Florida and a lot of different independents in between, and it was right around the XPW Philadelphia thing they did too. Was right after that too, right, all around that same kind of time frame. So I was a little bit all over the place, man. I was actually working almost as much through independent organizations as I was through ECW, maybe if not more.
How was the living on that, like doing the indie shows and stuff like that? Were you making pretty decent money for what it was at that time?
Right out of ECW, we were making crazy money. I know Roadkill had set up 4 or 5 different shows for us through different promoters, and we were making more than we were making with ECW.
Really?
Again, that's fresh off of ECW, so that window closes really quickly, because the next time you go back to that town, then they want to offer you whatever. But for that first year and a half, we were making with some really good money for being ECW guys. The drawback was everybody thought, and Roadkill and I were pretty much considered, even though we worked hard, we were considered comedy. So, but when we go to these independent shows, they wanted tables, they wanted barbed wire, they wanted thumbtacks, and we don't do that. Like, we'll do a tables match, but we don't do all that kind of stuff. I've never, to this day, 30 years in the business, I have never gigged.
Really?
Never. I have scars, and they're from Hardway, but I've never actually gigged. This is somebody who was in ECW from 96 to 2001 when they closed. Never once. The one time I was supposed to gig was against Sabu, and I asked him to cut me. Okay. And we did a spot where I ran into the corner and he backdrops me, and I was supposed to land on the apron, but either I went in overzealous or he hit me, gave me too much, or whatever the case was. I flipped over the turnbuckle and landed back first on the floor. This sickening thud. Ooh. And he just comes and goes, forget the color. That was awesome, bum. Let's go home. And that was that was the closest I ever came. So we just that was it. I never gigged. Never gigged once.
Did you hear the story about Raven gigging Tommy?
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. I did not know that. And because Raven never gigged anybody before, Tommy asked him, not knowing that, and he went coast to coast across on him, and Tommy was bleeding like fucking crazy. It's that's part of the documentary.
Yeah, I saw it, and one of my favorites is if you ever talk to Spanish Angel from the Baldies, New Jack stuck him in the ass with like a mini pitchfork, and it was just. And there was no heat. He just thought it would be funny, and Angel comes in the back with this fork stuck in his ass. They had to literally put a foot on him and pull the fork out of his ass.
Holy shit!
course, we thought it was funnier than he did. I'm sure he'll laugh now, but at the time, he wasn't. We again, this would be a great thing if we had cell phones and camera phones and live streams, because watching that guy run around the back with a fork in his ass, I could still see it. Would have been one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God!
I would be watching it right now. I would have put it on the camera. But
that'd be blowing up on Instagram, no doubt about it. Okay, let's take some more questions here. I know I saw a couple up here that were pretty good. I know Triple E had some. Okay, here's an odd one. Triple E asked, Danny, if you could invent a new flavor of ice cream that captures your personality, what would it be and why?
Jesus. That's a great question.
Yeah.
See now I'm used to like the same generic questions. I get a lot of generic questions like, how'd you get into the business? How'd you come up with your name? How'd you come up? That right there is an amazing question. I'd have to name it after myself. I'd have to give it some kind of a sexual twist, obviously, because that's my gimmick, right? So I'd probably have to call it Conda Cream. And it would probably, I'm going to go with like a s'mores flavor.
Yeah.
Like caramel ribbon, maybe some strawberries because, Conda Cream, there's got to be a cherry or a strawberry in there or some kind of fruit, you know what I mean? To make it, because you got, Conda's cream pie. There you go.
There you go.
It is. Conda's cream pie.
Wow.
Do the math at home.
Triple E, you got your bang for your buck on that one because I did not think you're going to be able to answer that.
Great question.
Woo! Spring is in the air, and you got to smell good through the spring. Spring right in to smelling fresh with Mando. I love Mando. Boom, right here. I got the Invisible Cream deodorant here. That's for your pits. It's for your packages. It's for your feet. And you can use this, but they got plenty of products that are great and amazing, including the deodorant spray, which I'm a huge fan of. Big fan of the smell, too, of Mount Fuji is my number one. But Bourbon Leather's real good, and Pro Sport is awesome as well. And not only can you get the spray, you can get your traditional deodorant stick. You can get wipes, plenty of different cool stuff that Mando has to offer and get you ready. You clean your apartment, you got to clean yourself, too. You got to make sure you smell like an adult. And Mando will help you do that. Some men mask their BO with scents. Mando Men gets the job done right. Don't mask it, Mando it. Available in retailers near you. Or head to shopmando.com because for a limited time, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code RVD at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide. shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Mando gets you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. How about that? Nice one. He asked me this question. Dominic, how has podcasting with RVD changed your view on wrestling behind-the-scenes drama? To be honest, I think doing that, it's always interesting to learn, I think, all this behind-the-scenes stuff for sure. I don't get as surprised as I think I would sometimes anymore, I think. And I think it just kind of, you expect a lot of stuff to kind of, from all the backstage drama. You just expect it to happen. And I think to a point too, and Danny, I'm sure you probably felt this way too, you kind of get sick of some of the BS politics that go on with it. Like, and especially in the territory or the areas you are, like from if you're whether based out of Pittsburgh or stuff, there's small time drama that goes in between. It's like, this is so effing stupid. It's like, you're not even on WWE, you're not even on a mainstream promotion. Why do you care this much about certain aspects of things? So that's kind of what made me feel. Danny, how's that been for you dealing with the politics, even on the smaller, like indie level, so to speak?
First of all, I'm tired of politics, period. I'm tired of going on my social media and everybody's a politician. Everybody knows how the country should work. I'm tired of high school politics with sports. I'm tired of youth politics with sports. I'm tired of wrestling. I'm tired of politics across the freaking board. The crap I gotta deal with. But on the independent scene now, it's funny to me because I'm not, I go to an independent show and I see politicking, and I basically at this point I make a joke, I laugh at it, I make fun of boo-boo faces to the face, because I don't care. Like they're fun. Like it's funny to me. It's funny to watch you can see it. You can see when the most important person in the room walks in. You can see who follows them to smooch your ass. And I make fun of it. Like I'm out loud because at this point I'm entertaining myself. I'm getting paid to entertain people out there, but in the back now I'm entertaining myself at this stage because it's funny to me to kind of make kind of make fun of some of it because it's still bad. It's just different for me because I just don't care. Like, you know, you're paying me. Like, you want me to lose? Fine. Like, do you want me to lose in 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Oh, you want me to win? Shit. I wasn't prepared for that. But yeah, no, like it's across the board. I think a lot of times people kind of, and I get it. You got to fight for certain things or whatever. But I think people have kind of lost sight that we're playing characters and we're putting on a show. And when you get old, like me, or you get when you evolve from having basic knowledge to wisdom, it's not if you win or lose, it's how do you make them remember you? Can you do something in that moment where you're out there to make them only remember you? Because if you can do that, then you can keep yourself over and keep yourself getting booked, whether you win or lose. There's ways to keep yourself strong and memorable in the fans' eyes without having to win or lose. At the end of the day, thousands of people do moonsaults, thousands of people do 450s, thousands of people. There are more well-versed and amazing athletes in the sport than ever before in the history of the sport. But what sets you apart? What makes you different? What makes them remember you? What makes them want to hate you? What makes them want to cheer you? You got to find that intangible. And a lot of people just don't care. They just want to get their shit in.
Yeah. It's a tunnel vision kind of stuff. I think, Danny, too, something that's interesting, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I see like so many wrestlers today are just all about pro wrestling. They grew up pro wrestling fans. They did, they played the video games. They did all that stuff. I find so many times if a wrestler that was an athlete before played an organized sport of some form or fashion, they're more level-headed and understanding of the business than somebody that grew up a fan, because any little thing that happens with somebody that just simply grew up a fan and got into wrestling, it triggers them or upsets them, or they get so insecure about little tiny bullshit stuff. But I think if you were coached and you got tough love from a coach and you were in organized sports, that helps so much, like from a wrestling standpoint, just getting an understanding for the business and how to survive and be disciplined, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that that's going by the wayside too. Tough love in sports. And I've seen it because I've coached. I've been coaching for the last decade. Yeah. So I've seen guys that, you have to be, it's a delicate thing. And I think a lot of kids are a little nurtured now growing up through this. I always try to be a little bit of both. I've kind of figured out a way to walk that fine line where I'm not as old school as coaching I got as a kid. Definitely not on the same level as the coaching I got in wrestling. By the way, big shout out. I love watching Perry stuff. I watch because I always watch Maven stuff. I watch Stevie stuff. Stevie's one of the best YouTubers out there as far as breaking things down. Great friend of mine. But I just started recently going down the Perry Saturn wormhole because he started doing some YouTube stuff. Oh yeah. And he'll get like mad in the middle of like talking in these shorts. And it's a Perry I remember from school. Really? Like just today I was watching one and he goes, I'm not the toughest motherfucker in the locker room, but I'm going to break it down how to kill you. And I'm going to break down how to counter what you're going to counter. And I was like, that's the guy that I had to get in the ring with every day. That's the guy that would literally clothesline me, knock me out after every class. So that's a lot of fun. And by the way, it's just good to see him back out in the wrestling world universe doing something too. So on a personal note, I'm really happy to see that because it was, they were very influential in anything that I've done. So and I've always appreciated that tough love that I got from them. But yeah, like now I think it's just different. I think it's just a different animal. I think the way people are coached, people are trained. There's still some of it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think there's just a lot of it's a lot different now, and I think you got to kind of evolve. But I think at the same time, that still helps, that sports background, because you still get Some of it, it's it's one of those things. Sports, one of those things. You earn what you get. You have to, you can get people like we talked about politics. People can politic for a spot, or your parents could be on the board, or your parents could be donors, or your parents could be donate a lot of money to the school to make sure that your spot is secure. And I'm not saying that because I see it all the time, especially in my son's high school. But yeah, it's one of those things that happens, and it's one of those things. But you still have to show up and play.
Right.
And if you can't play, it's going to be obvious to everybody else, especially when you got kids on the team that can.
That's it. And no, that's a great point too. Like I was thinking too there. I mean, it is certainly a generational thing. There's Gen X, and I think I talked to Rob about this last episode. Is like Gen X has a more like concrete kind of mentality. Like they can take a little. They're a bit more Teflon, I think, the Gen X. And then if you go down a level to millennials, I'm a millennial. I sometimes I have to check myself, can be a little bit more sensitive to things. And then you have Gen Z, which is a whole different type of sensitivity and stuff like that. And so like you do kind of have to quote unquote evolve or adapt to kind of convey a message to them that they can understand and like react to in the proper manner. So it's definitely a different kind of things, that a lot of layers that go into that.
Well, I mean, just even still, like even sports in general, like when we were kids, or when we were a kid, when before the internet boom or whatever, you outside of a couple people in an office or at school talking about the game, nobody heard anything. And now with the internet, you can shit on, and let's face it, sports and wrestling fans love to be negative.
Oh yeah,
love to be negative. So now you can actually direct your hate or angst or complaints or your whatever directly at the person, the athlete, the wrestler, the actor, the musician. Where back then they would never hit their radar, because unless they had a newspaper or whatever, it didn't hit their radar. Now you can so you could be a high school kid, a college kid, and you're getting shit on for throwing an interception by thousands of people that you don't even know that can at you now. It's a completely different ballgame. So that's where I kind of understand too, where you come up like where you have to. It's a different thing with the tough love, because you're getting a lot more criticism and a lot more eyes on you from everywhere. The internet has changed all of that. Live streaming, film, anything. Even when I was coaching, when I was in high school, we watched film at the field house on a brick wall on a literal film projector.
Yeah.
Now it's uploaded to your iPhone. You can watch film on any high school or college or whatever in the country, just based on if you have that website where that film is uploaded. So, I mean, same thing with wrestling. You can, like now, if I'm wrestling somebody I don't know, I could just go on YouTube and watch 10 of his matches. And then by the time I get to the show, I'm like, how about you hit this, 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 and this, because I feel comfortable this looks good, that looks. And it's amazing the more kind of research and how you can get, you can get prepared for things now just from technology and how far we've come since when I started in 96.
Yeah, there's so much more accessibility to everything. Like I couldn't even fathom. I mean, you think about how ECW, people traded tapes and all that shit too back then. And it's just, now it's like, okay, I can try to find something up on YouTube. And I know WWE's kind of shifted their network and all that stuff and how you can watch old matches and stuff. So it might be a little bit more difficult, but it is way more accessible than it used to be, no doubt.
I mean, think of it this way, like even back then, like ECW was filmed, but it was edited. WWE wasn't. They had Raw at that point, one show a week that was live outside of the pay-per-views that they did 4 to 6 at that time. And now almost every kind of ounce of content that you watch is live.
Mm-hmm.
So people are quick to point out all these botches and stuff, but it's just readily, it happens, period, because it's not, as Tracy Smothers would say, it ain't ballet out there, folks.
Yep.
I mean, it happens, things happen, but now you're not doing live events or house shows. You're not hiding it through editing. Everything is live. So botches are going to be way more apparent and way more abundant. But everybody's quick to point them out. Oh, look at that. It's just, I'm sorry. I get on my soapbox sometimes because I'll see stuff You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, just like today, like yes, like I don't even really watch wrestling.
Uh-huh.
But I just listen to everybody overwhelmingly hate on this Danhausen kid.
That's what I was gonna ask you about tonight was Danhausen. So
And
go
like
ahead.
I'm just like, you know, like how about just let it play out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. Like it's just I don't know. Like I'm indifferent. I got no horse in the race. Like I don't, you know, I just don't care. But at the same time, I'm not going to like jump on and go, oh, that was shits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just people just want to be so angry and negative. Like,
That's exactly what I felt watching. So I watched him debut, and I was like, oh, that's a kind of a clever way to kind of do it. And I kind of assumed it was going to be Danhausen anyways before it happened. And I was like, all right, this is not bad. You know, it's like, and then, but sure enough, once he got in the ring and he posed, the crowd just started booing. I'm like, what the F are you so upset? What did you expect to come out of the fucking box?
it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It didn't matter. Jesus could have walked out and they'd been like, why is he over? You know, like, you know, like who do you ever beat?
Right. It is.
You know,
It's a negative mentality.
It didn't matter what they did. Somebody was gonna, you know, it had to be either had to be overwhelmingly like shocking, like somehow they Frankenstein the Rock into Stone Cold and it came out as this weird hybrid and or it was gonna be the shits. Like somebody it just didn't. So I just feel like people are just negative to be negative, and it's a lot more fun to be negative, and negativity gets more clicks, and negativity gets more stories, and negativity gets more everything. And the one thing I really try now is to be way more positive and look at things from a way different lens than I did 5, 10, 20 years ago, easily. So, I mean, how about we just let the Danhausen thing play out, man?
That's it. That's it. And you know what? Like, sure, he got booed the first time and it was mixed reaction and stuff. But I think he's like enough of a character over the course of time. People will be like, oh, man, yeah, I want to see Danhausen be incorporated in this. And it really just a matter of how WWE frames him and utilizes him, I think.
I also don't want to get cursed if he's watching. So,
it's true.
You know, that whole thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be dealing with that for sure.
I'm already cursed. I got my father-in-law in the other room.
That's it. He already got to you then, I guess. So.
I can't get any worse, bro.
Well, and I keep thinking too. I mean, you look back and like in ECW, you had the Dudleys. You had fucking Spike Dudley, Big Dick Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley, and sure. I mean, Danhausen's not known for his wrestling acumen for sure, and like everybody else could wrestle. But to get those odd type of characters coming in, like there's always a market for that in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's a market for it. It really depends on what. I mean, the guy got as far as he did, kind of marketing himself, right? So if the machine wants to get behind you, they're going to get behind you. And ultimately, it comes down to how much merch can he sell? How much money can he make them? And that's really what it's going to ultimately depend on. How many people are going to buy the shirts? How many people are going to buy masks, I guess. I'm just shitballing shit they'll probably sell. You know what I mean? Like, you know, shit. When my son was growing up, I had to buy him all that stuff because he liked Elimination Chamber set. He had a Bray Wyatt championship belt. He had all these things, and I'm like, I gotta give these motherfuckers my money. They released me in 2006. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I gotta give them money for this. But you know, part of being a dad, right? I can't tell him, listen, son, there's a really hard feeling between me and Vince McMahon right now. I can't be giving him my money. But I did. But yeah, no. So I mean, it really depends on like, you know, how they market it, how it gets over, you know, all that kind of stuff. If it doesn't, then it'll be, you know, whatever, swept under the rug or whatever it is they do. But I mean, I thought it was, you know, they went right to the main roster, no NXT, no nothing. So they must have a plan, in place. So I'm a wait and see kind of guy. And I actually, you know, like I said, I don't watch much, but like, dude, it was all over. Like, you can't sign on to your Facebook or anything without seeing, like, you know, everybody's got an opinion on, and, you know, I just miss the days where it was food, man. I used to shit on it. Like, oh, I gotta see this motherfucker eating breakfast again. Now I miss it.
Yeah. Right now, that's it. Right. What do you think, speaking of being negative, what do you think about how there's been the build to WrestleMania this year? It kind of felt, for me, watching Raw, like, and everything, it has been pretty underwhelming. It felt like.
I was about to use that same word.
Yeah.
Again, and I'll probably be at Crowbar's house watching it. That's what we do. And at some point, we will probably be drinking, and then eventually we'll move to drinking a little heavier.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I don't like, usually, even like as a guy out from the outside looking in, watching it. I don't know really there's not much to sink my teeth. I don't really know much of any of that. I am more excited for this at this point to see Gina Carano fight than WrestleMania. Plus a big Cara Dune mark over here. But yeah, no, but like I really don't know what the matches are. I really don't. Like I don't.
I don't think WWE knew until like a couple weeks before. Like that, I think they've really panicked and kind of pivoted last minute on a lot of this. Like I'm all for it. Like one of the matches is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, and I think that's going to be a great match. But it was certainly thrown together. It felt like at the last minute.
There's usually a build like right after Royal Rumble, and you start hit like these builds. And I really, again, I watch casually, so if it's on, I'll watch it. And don't hate me, Tommy Dreamer. I still haven't watched any TNA yet since they moved to AMC. I promised myself I'm going to do it. There's a lot of wrestling that you can watch everywhere, and I don't watch enough of it to comment. I mean, I will watch WrestleMania. I always watch the big pay-per-views. I didn't see Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. The only thing I know about Elimination Chamber is that people were mad at Danhausen. That's the only thing I know about Elimination Chamber. I don't even know who won them. I don't. So it's already working. But I like it's like I said, I'm not, and that's not to shit on the talent. They'll put guys out there to have amazing matches, I'm sure, especially with 2 nights. I'm even less excited for the Saudi WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, me too.
Is that going to be on at like 1:00 in the afternoon? And like, how is that going to, I know we're a year away, but I'm, and I also listen to Busted Open enough to get kind of filled in on the blanks. And it looks like the ticket sales are still, I think people complaining. I know people complaining that they priced out the experience.
Yeah.
So taking your family out there and paying for all the different fan things is like a mortgage on a house or something. Like they priced it out, from what I understand from people. What I heard people complain is they priced it out for families.
Yeah, they did big time, and they are struggling to try to make those sales too. And there's even the rumors, and I don't know, maybe it's confirmed reports too, that WWE's been trying to go make sure local casinos and businesses around the Vegas area black it out, that you can't watch it. And I literally I didn't go to the WrestleMania, the actual event. Well, I was in Vegas last year for WrestleMania, but I didn't go. And we literally watched it at a casino. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing, if that really does happen, and what they try to do and black some stuff out. But yeah, I mean, and it's all in the name of trying to sell out that stadium 2 nights, which is bonkers.
It's hard. Yeah. I mean, it's unless you're offering packages. I mean, what is that? 80,000?
I think so. Yeah, Allegiant Stadium. Let me take a look here real quick. Allegiant Stadium. I've never been inside of it, and I hear it's a great stadium. But
I'd love to get out and see that stadium. And SoFi, I would love to see them out.
I was in SoFi. SoFi's really nice. SoFi is super nice. So it says for capacity for NFL games, it can be expandable to 71,000 people.
Oh, so you put 4 seats in there. You're closer to 90.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. So, yeah. I mean, what are they at now? You're a month away?
Yeah, look, just over a month away. So April 18th and 19th are the 2 dates. So they got some work to do.
What are they at? Do you have any idea or ballpark where they're at?
Let's see. I'm going to type in current WrestleMania ticket sales. While I'm doing this, everybody, be sure to check out one of our great sponsors, Happy Hippo. Happy Hippo. Happy Hippo. It's a Kratom product that RVD and I like a lot. I started taking the gummies. They're awesome, but here's the powder. and each powder does a little different thing for you too. The white gives you a little bit more energy and helps you out, while the red can kind of calm you down and stuff like that. But promo code RVDNEW for new customers. Check it out. Go to Happy Hippo and check it out and support the show. So, Danny, I'm looking right now. According to AI here, let's see if they give me anything here. WrestleMania 42 takes place in Las Vegas. I know that. Oh, ticket sale. I got to type that in. Sales. Let's see what happened now. So, oh my gosh, Danny, they are struggling. 36,000 to 37,000 tickets.
It sounds like 40 you were going to say, but I was close.
Yeah.
I mean, again, a month. I mean, I mean, the machine's going to roll regardless. I'm sure they're still making money hand over fist. So I mean,
yeah,
my heart's not going to bleed too much if it's only 50 or 60,000. You know what I mean? And
those prices, they're crazy though. They were even crazy last year, but they're even more crazy now.
What's a ballpark? Like, okay, let's just say middle of the row. Let's just say second deck, whatever, mezzanine ticket. You're taking your girlfriend or your brother or something, like just two people.
Yeah. Okay.
What is that ballpark ticket right there?
Let's take a look. I'm pulling up Ticketmaster right now.
I'm not talking about the included WWE experience or all whatever else they got going on.
Okay. Am I doing a 2-day combo or am I doing one night?
Yeah, let's do the 2-day combo. We're going. Let's say we're going to do this WrestleMania thing.
We're gonna do the full shebang here. Let's take.
We're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the Bunny Ranch afterwards. You know what I mean? So, whatever it is.
Yes. Let's take a look. All right. So loan and I accept. All right. 2 tickets. So section. All right. Is this each or is this so the lowest price right now is $392. So and that's
Before
section.
fees.
Yeah. So before fees, of course. Yeah. Okay. So I picked middle of the row section here right now. I can get. I'm looking. 242 is 636, and I think that is. Oh my gosh! So that's per ticket. 636 per ticket, Dan.
Per night or for the combo?
For the combo for all 4 nights for the WrestleMania 2-day combo. So if I were taking my hypothetical girlfriend, we'd be paying $1,200 for both nights in total.
Before that's not dealing with Fan Fest, any of the other 800 indies going on.
Yep.
Food, drinks, airfare, lodging.
Yep.
So you're talking at least 2 G's.
At least.
And that's if you are literally having continental breakfast and stockpiling that in a Tupperware bag somewhere so you can eat in between meeting your favorite wrestlers at Access or going to the whatever other shows out there. I'm sure there's every other company in the world will be running out there.
Yep.
That weekend also.
And
I'm not booked, by the way, but I'm also not cheap.
Nope. And the fact is too, you got to pay for $10 waters out there. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Oh, and not to mention if you're gonna buy merchandise, so merchandise, shit. What's inside? What's a water inside the stadium? 15?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even want to know.
That'd be too much. Buy beer.
24 a piece, 25 a piece.
Yeah, and what's a shirt? 40 at least. A t-shirt. If you want to buy like a Roman Reigns t-shirt or something.
Yep,
it's got to be at least $40, right?
Yeah, no doubt. It's at least $40. At least.
You want a WrestleMania hat or a shirt, or God forbid you want a I'm sure they have all sorts of like nice jackets and jacket and all this kind of stuff there. That's
the thing too, Danny. To pay to get into the W, what do they call it now? The W World, I think, WrestleMania World or something. You pay to get into that, and then you pay to buy the shirts and merchandise and stuff.
So, like, how about this though? So, like, this is how. So you pay to get in that, but you have to pay for all the individual experiences in it. So, if you wanted to take a picture with this entranceway, or
that's complimentary, they do that. So, if you pay to get in, they usually have that set up. There's just a line that you can wait through. Okay. So, like, they had the ECW set up in Philly, which was awesome looking. You could just go and get your picture taken there. Fellas, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level, championship belt, gold-plated energy. One of a kind, if you will. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. No, no, no. This is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works just as little in 15 minutes. That means you can get it on quicker and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. And we at RVD got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code RVD. That's promo code RVD. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And hey, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, no. That's what I was wondering. I don't know how much, like, once you get in, like, sometimes, once you get into you got to pay to get into something, but it's like, then you got to pay for X amount or this, that, the next thing, or you just meet and greet or whatever it is. So,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough nut, man, especially, and most people want to bring their families. If you have a kid, you have multiple kids, a wife, whatever it is, man,
Right.
And not to mention all the other stuff you want to do while you're in Vegas. If you want to take advantage of being in Vegas, if you're one of those types, you want to go out to a club, sports bar, sports book, Bunny Ranch, whatever it is, they got all those things out there. Is that a thing anymore? Is that still a thing?
I don't know if that's a thing or not. I'm not sure.
Well,
I know that I have a friend that had tried to get some ladies of the night I wasn't there with him. He took his own trip over there. And he got his whole wallet stolen.
Oh, I know a couple people that I know that would love to make that trip too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, holy smokes!
You also might like chickens. What?
Vegas is great though. I do love Vegas. It's just super expensive right now.
Yeah, I haven't been in a long time.
Yeah.
I got Atlantic City right here. That's a Jersey version of Vegas. We're good.
Yeah, you're a-okay then. We have a good super chat here too. I guess this is all in general. Deontay Presley, thank you for the $2. He says, "What's your all's biggest accomplishment, Danny and Dom?" Danny, what's your biggest accomplishment? Doesn't necessarily have to be wrestling, I guess.
My favorite accomplishment is believe it or not, it's going to sound really corny and cheesy, is having a family.
Hey.
In the business, longevity. You know what I mean? Like longevity that I'm still doing it. I'm wrestling. As a matter of fact, not this weekend, the weekend after for ACW out in Poughkeepsie, New York. One of the best shows going. If you haven't, check it out. It's awesome championship wrestling. Check them out. They're absolutely amazing. And in Crowbar, I'll tell you something. It's like spoiling. It's like you don't want to go anywhere else after that. And just being able to do that after 30 years and still be able to do it and maintain my career in wrestling is probably my favorite accomplishment. And the fact that I made it in through this crazy world that we call wrestling without any major injuries, no addictions, and
never gigged,
and no gigging, right? That's I'm pretty proud of all that.
Yeah, those are great ones. That longevity, that's an awesome one, actually. Because I mean, like, you think about, somebody be like, I went in the championship, blah blah blah, or whatever, or my first big match on a pay-per-view or whatever. But no, that's
I got milestone moments like that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that adrenaline rush is I've never felt anything like some of those moments. Pay-per-views and first pay-per-view and winning championships in New York, which is right by your house, on pay-per-view. Madison Garden, like there's like a lot of things that give you those amazing senses of like heightened adrenaline rushes. But yeah, man, just maintaining. I never thought in 1996 at 2026 people would give a shit. But if I wanted to, my emails are always filled with DMs filled with booking opportunities. I just don't get to a lot of them because I can't physically. I'm 52, So I can't physically work 52 weeks a year, but I could if I wanted to, and that's thanks to ECW and being part of that revolution. But to this day, I could literally work every weekend in wrestling in one way, shape, or form if I wanted to, which is a pretty cool thing to be able to say. That's not me being arrogant. That's just literally true. I could literally wrestle every weekend. Probably not for a lot of money, but I could wrestle every weekend at this age, at this stage. Whether you want to be negative and call me a curtain jerker, a mid-carder, a jobber, jabroni, whatever, I can still work every weekend because of those 3 letters, and that's a pretty cool thing to say.
You know, and you talk about longevity too. The promotion that has longevity is ECW, like amongst the fans. Like, you know, you'd always think of it like anytime. I think that still resonates so much with people more than WCW does at this point in time. I think ECW has lasted a lot of the old major promotions and stuff like that. I think they're still kind of even in a way ranked up there with WWE in regards to notoriety and just popularity among fans. So it's true. I think
it'll never die.
Nope. Absolutely. As far as my biggest accomplishment from a professional standpoint, I guess getting I'm really proud of getting a podcast to do with Rob. I think it's been a great experience, and he didn't know who the hell I was when I reached out to him. Like, I interviewed him twice before that, but he still didn't know who I was, and I made a pitch to him, and we got it all started, and so it's been going on for almost 3 years coming up here. So I that's something I'm pretty darn proud of. I was in the Creed movie with Sylvester Stallone, so I got to interact with him.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
The first one, the first Creed movie.
That's right.
What?
Where?
So this took place in, is it Westchester? Is that where they film it? Or Chester, P? Right off outside of Philly, wherever that was. And they had it in a sound studio, and I lucked into it. Like, I initially was just going to be an extra, just an extra in it and stuff like that. And then I thought it was going to be something else though. And they told me no. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm just going to be an extra. And so I stood around and I was like, I said a little prayer and whatever. And then sure enough, I heard the people talking. They're like, hey, we need a ringside photographer still. Did we find one? And I was like, hey, I'll be your ringside photographer. And the people are just like, yeah, whatever, nah. But then the costume guy came up to us and he was like, hey, I still looking for one? I was like, I'll be it. And he looked me up and down. He's like, you take that pin off, you can be my ringside photographer. And so they took me over there. I literally was at ringside for the main event of that scene, the main event scene in the final scene there. And I was literally 6 feet. I was near shoulder to shoulder with Stallone, and he was in our corner the whole time. And so he's interacting with people and stuff like that. And then he comes over to me and he's like, see this guy right here? This is the #1 fucking photographer right here. And then I was there 6 days, and you can see me. I'm a little blurry and stuff in the final scene of the Rocky of Creed. So check it out, everybody.
That's awesome. No, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm a big mark for that franchise. So the whole Rocky franchise, except for Rocky 5, of course.
Oh yeah, Rocky 5 sucked. I told Stallone, I was like, I liked Rocky Balboa, and he's like, me too.
Rocky Balboa was awesome. Rocky 5 was an absolute. Me and Crowbar talk about this all the time. We want to do a show where we talk about why things were who are the real villains of movies, and what stuff like Rocky 5. Paulie had power of attorney. Fuck out of here. It never happened. Adrian gave Paulie a career fuck up, power of attorney. Come on,
get out of here.
I can't fight for money in a sanctioned match with actual physicians there, but I'll fight on the local news for free in the street.
Right.
Terrible movie. But I love the franchise. Yeah. Also, you got the invite to the Crowbar Summerfest, which is not an easy invite to get. It's a very easy invite to lose. Ask Uncle Chuck. But you also got a room in the West Wing for 2 days. Were you there for Uncle Chuck?
I met Uncle Chuck all right.
Oh, you were there for Uncle Chuck. You were there that weekend?
Oh, yes. I was there for Uncle Chuck.
Is not getting a return invite.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So, yes, that would rank third, I think, the Crowbar Summerfest invite. Good shit. We'll close out
tell
with this
Uncle Chuck story one day, people. I promise.
Oh my God, Uncle Chuck! I only met him for. I think I saw him like for an hour and a half, and then he like vanished for a little.
That's all any of us saw him for. None of us knew who he was.
Uncle Chuck.
Guido did the same thing. Guido would come over and just bring random people he just met that day. Honestly, still from the bar. He'll just be hanging out.
Unbelievable. I remember the one joke Sal said about the kid that was sitting on the couch. Remember that? We can't talk about it here, but he was said like the kid looked like a certain somebody.
Oh yeah. I vaguely remember. I wasn't familiar with the reference. So I didn't get the joke. Whatever movie he was talking about. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a movie. It wasn't.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. No, but I didn't. I also whatever it was. I didn't get the reference. But that's also Sal. By the way, Sal brought Uncle Chuck, so Sal got residual heat.
I bet he did. Oh, Sal's a character and a half. That's the first time I ever met him, too.
He's a person and a half.
That's true, right? Danny, we'll close it out with this. What do you think about Demolition getting the Hall of Fame induction?
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I got to meet them a couple times. I actually got to interview them one time. I did Busted Open with Dave LaGreca at a convention. I was a big Demolition mark growing up. I always loved heels, so Demolition, Savage, DiBiase, some of my favorites. And let's be honest, there may not be outside of Jive Soul Bro a bigger banger in wrestling music than Demolition.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I mean, you put that on now with the windows open, shit's going down.
Mm-hmm.
If I drive to the gym with that, I'm putting weight up. It's Demolition. I say my active contrition before I hit them weights, man.
Yeah.
I say the active contrition for them weights.
For those weights. That's it. Oh my God, I'm heartily sorry.
Just saying.
Yep.
Really, I actually, I know it's a work and whatever. There's no physical Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a little surprised that, when I kind of read it, I kind of read it like 7 times. Like, I almost had to fact check it. Even I was like, "Are you guys really not in?" Like, that really, I almost didn't believe that out of all those teams and all those wrestlers, all that from that era of wrestling, that they were not in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, you know why though? Because they sued WWE.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, they sued WWE years back, and so they were blacklisted. They would be taken out of everything, like all their old footage that they would put on television. They were like erased from history, so to speak, for a while. So,
well, whatever, for whatever reason that it happened or got resolved or whatever. I'm glad that that those guys could get some Hall of Fame rings, because they were definitely a top tag team in my mind, and definitely in during that time. So yeah. I mean, all kudos and well deserved.
Absolutely.
Axe and Smash, baby.
That's
Crush get into.
We were wondering that. I was on my other show earlier today, and we were unsure about Crush. I think Crush should get in with him. Why not? Right?
And Fuji's already in, but then would he get in also again as like a 2-time? Because doesn't Triple H and all those guys get in once as themselves, and then another DX got in separately. So yeah. Wouldn't that be? There's a lot of different things that can happen here with this.
Absolutely, right?
You know what I mean? Like you got Axe, you got Smash, you got Crush.
Yep.
Did Crush ever defend one of the titles? I have to look at that up.
I would have to look that up too. I'm not sure. I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. I started in the new generation era of WWF when I became a fan. So I was like Razor Ramon and Bret Hart, and so it was like a little before my wrestling fandom.
Yeah, that kind of led right into it. Yeah, so you got you get Legion of Doom kind of coming in right when the Crush thing was happening. Legion of Doom was like the top team.
Yeah,
and Money Inc. DiBiase. Yep. Come on, I know my shit. And then the Razor Ramones and all those guys started.
Shawn Michaels, all those guys started taking off. Then after a little bit, they had to hit the reset. Yeah.
The model Rick Martel.
Yep, the model Rick. Oh yes, absolutely.
It's arrogance.
Yep. It's fascinating too that he was the AWA champ Rick Martel. Like,
Rick Martel's I always tell people all the time, man, watch Rick Martel in the Battle Royals. The Royal Rumbles when he was in them. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing work. Absolutely amazing work. All
they go to that.
Yeah, I'm serious. You go back and watch any Royal Rumble with Rick Martel in it, and he was just like, he wasn't just blending in. He was finding ways to stick out, like I said earlier, like almost getting eliminated, but not getting eliminated. He was basically doing Kofi Kingston shit before Kofi Kingston was doing it. With the almost getting eliminated, but I mean, obviously not to that degree of, whatever, but like almost getting eliminated, but not like all separate. Every time you looked at the show, he was almost getting eliminated by somebody, so he stood out the whole time he was in the match. He found a way to stand out with 30 people in the ring. So yeah, go back if you have. I don't know where all that stuff lies now because there's no more network. You can't go on the cop anymore. But
I think it's on Netflix. A lot of the stuff.
Is it really the whole library?
Not the whole library, but I think maybe the old pay-per-views. I think so.
How about like the ECW stuff with like the New Jack dub?
I don't think so. I don't think. Hold on, I have.
Song grows on you, by the way, though. It's not Natural Born Killers, but it definitely grows on you.
Some of them do.
The FBI one kind of.
Oh, the FBI. I know FBI came out to several different themes. I remember they had the rap song. They had D. Martin. They came out to.
I'm talking about the WWE overdubs.
Oh, the overdubs. Okay.
Yeah, like the New Jack one is like. It definitely grows on you.
It does. Okay.
I'm a fan of the New Jack song that never was used in ECW, written, produced, and performed by New Jack and Bootsy Collins of the Funkadelic G-Funk era, George Clinton era. Yeah. Parliament Funkadelic, Bootsy Collins and New Jack did New Jack's entrance music.
What?
Look it up. It's an absolute banger. It's an absolute banger. Who'd you all come to see? New Jack across the motherfucking country. Just look it up, man. It exists. It's out there in the universe.
How did they use it? Why did it never get used?
Because I mean, people want to just like big balls and balls or I mean, at that point he was such a phenomenon that you couldn't. It'd be like taking Sandman and giving him like changing it to like
Brian Adams
or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you're not changing it. At that point you just couldn't. But it's a banger. Look it up.
Okay. I'm definitely looking it up. Hell yeah.
There's a video too.
Huh? There's
a video for it too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube. Yeah, it's a video. Just people with stuff and Bootsy Collins being Bootsy Collins.
Yeah, all right. Man,
there you go, people. I gave you guys a little gem tonight.
There's some homework, everybody. So take that with you. And by the way, be sure to check out Danny too. Not this weekend, next weekend, right? Is your show?
March the 14th in Poughkeepsie, New York. They will be. I think they are literally putting the show on. I think it's Triller TV. Awesome Championship Wrestling. It's a pretty amazing card. Killer Cross is on it. Santana from TNA. Nick Nemeth is on it. Jesus. I'm on it.
There you go.
Who? The Hardys are on it. Oh my God. Like, yeah. I mean, there's it's a bunch of it's a really, really, really good card. And the venue's Poughkeepsie where we filmed. The same venue where ECW filmed, the same venue where Andre got his haircut, the same venue where Elizabeth came out. I walk through his doors every time and mark out, because I'm a big Savage mark. So it's a wrestling rich history building, and it's an amazing, amazing show with amazing top-notch production.
Well, check it out. Yeah, guys, even if you can't make it, go to Triller TV and check it out too. And
also, I'm on it.
And plus he's on. Is Crowbar going to be there too?
Crowbar is going to be talking to the YouTuber known as the Machoverse. They have a little bit of a gift about some certain things. They're not seeing eye to eye, and they're going to have a little summit to hash out their differences, as gentlemen do.
There we go. You got to do it.
So who knows how that's going to work out? Probably the same as contract signings and weddings.
Yeah, that's it, right? But if there's cake involved, we definitely know where that's going to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If there's any presents involved, there better be a Cobra in it.
Or Danhausen.
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be on that one, but yeah, maybe, if he is, I'll make sure I'm sitting there booing him.
That's right. Be negative, Danny.
And I'm going to shit on him through an anonymous Twitter handle.
That's it, right? All right.
It's going to be a little less obvious. It'll be like at fuck Danhausen at twitter.com, whatever it is.
Yeah, really, really direct. Really
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it.
Just some mince words. Let's just
No, not at all. Well, great. This has been awesome, Danny. We'll have to get you back on at some point. But this is fun. If you guys want to, be sure to go to rvdtv.com, like, share, subscribe, get the word out about this channel, and stay tuned. Later this week, Fonzie's back. Me and Fonzie will we're covering his time in Florida Championship Wrestling.
Daddy,
Come on, Daddy. So that'll be good times.
do the wrist face, Daddy.
That's great. They're great impressions. I tell you what, people we get on here, you, Rob, Big Vito, all you guys do great impressions.
Oh, I can do a Big Vito impression. You don't need wrestlers on this thing. I can do them all.
That's it. Cover them all.
Brother, let me tell you, when Vito's on that top rope dropping the elbow, brother, nobody's kicking out. And if they do, I'm going to make sure that I politic to go over on the next one, bro. No, all of it. But yeah, no, I can do impressions all day. You give me a guy, I can do Fonzie, I can do Taz, my Tommy Dreamer is impeccable.
Oh my God.
I fire people all the time in House of Hardcore Wrestling as Tommy Dreamer from an anonymous phone.
Really?
Listen, I gotta let you go. You're the shits.
Oh, that's
but I mean, look, it's kind of how I entertain myself. What I do, I entertain myself at this point.
That's it. Hey, we're all entertainers, so there you go. I like it. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here on One of a Kind with RVD or maybe Danny Doring.
Wave our tag in, baby.
All right. I'll leave you tag.